Hi, everybody. Well, let's talk about something that I'm lucky enough to have never happened to me, but I've seen it happen dozens of times on cruise ships. And that's people who are late getting to the cruise ship and are what you're called pier runners. And what happens when you're a pier runner and you're running to miss the ship? Everybody cheers you and jeers you and boos you, and or if worst case scenario you're left behind, they're all, see you later, have a nice trip, hope you brought your passport, etc. But is that really what we should be doing? So yes, people getting back late to the ship, it's been a long tradition where people are up there waiting for the cruise ship to sail for sail away, and we notice we're not leaving, and the gangplank supposed to be up. The captain hasn't made an announcement we're pulling out yet, and we know we're waiting for people. And then we see those people running from way down distances in the way, waving their arms, and we start whistling and jeering them and cheering them on and clapping. Oh, finally you made it, yay, and way to pay attention to what you're doing. And some people have commented now, and even John Hill posted on his Facebook page recently some questions of, is this the proper thing to do? Should we be doing this? Because one person says, basically you're being mean. You're big meanies for doing this. And a lot of people said, hey, we've been doing this for decades. There's nothing mean about it. If you're, irresponsible enough to not make it back to the cruise ship on time because you're shopping, or you lost track of time, or you went off on your own. I've even had people, remember, that left a note in their stateroom for their cabin steward to tell the captain that they were having dinner that night with their friends and wouldn't be able to get back to the ship until 2 hours after the ship was supposed to sail away. Please give this note to the captain so he waits for us. Do you think those people deserve sympathy? I don't. I think those people deserve all the expense they could possibly get on something like that. So yeah, it is kind of a tradition, and I'm kind of along the lines of, you know what, it's all in good fun. Some people are pretty vindictive on it, really vindictive and get overboard on it. But people who are just cheering people running the cruise ship or jeering them if they're just strolling, yeah, I know you're all waiting for me. I know 4,000 people are waiting for me, but I'm not going to rush at all. It's just me. Those people deserve to be jeered. Those people I have no sympathy for there. But now let me talk about playing devil's advocate and talk about the flip side of that. There was once a situation not long ago, about 2 years ago, where a woman was arriving on a golf cart. The ship was supposed to have sailed 30 minutes earlier, and people were waiting for what's going on and everything. And the golf cart was arriving, and 2 crew members were walking out to her there, and everyone started booing and jeering her, and what's taking you so long? Wait, we're waiting for you. All that kind of stuff that happens. And they handed the woman something, and they were talking for a few minutes, and then the golf cart turned around and drove away with her on board. And people were going, oh, well, that's unusual because the gangway is still there. And then the crew members went on board, pulled up the gangway, and the ship prepared to pull out. And that's when the captain announced that the woman who was there, her husband, had been hit by a car while walking around the destination and was in hospital clinging to life. A very serious, in fact, later he passed away. So how bad do people feel after something like that? If I'm thinking in that particular situation, it would have been nice had the captain let people know there was a serious accident and we're waiting for one of the passengers to come back so we can give them some documentation. Their passports, etc., their insurance cards, the money, their wallets, everything that they need. But also they have that privacy issue, right, where they don't want to tell people people's personal business, especially something medical. But in that particular situation, how distraught would you have been, that person, your husband's in the hospital clinging to life after watching him get hit by a car, and all these people on the side of a cruise ship are jeering you and booing you, etc. Now, that's an extreme case. Many people, are just late. They don't pay attention to the time. They're too long in the shopping line and then don't get out of the shopping line. They take a private tour that doesn't get back on time. They forget what the ship time is and the cruise time, the port time is. Sometimes there's an hour difference between the two. Sometimes it's as simple as they didn't turn their clocks back. But it's their fault. It's 100% their fault. And so the vast majority of the time, it's the passenger's fault for not getting back. Does this mean we should never jeer people or cheer people on or anything like that? It's an iffy situation in a way. What happens if it is that extreme situation? But like I said, that is the minimum. That is the rare case. In most cases, yes, it can be traumatic because, hey, where's that ship going? How do I get home? That kind of thing. But it's probably their fault. So I'm kind of of mixed views. I'd like to know what you guys think. Tell me in the comments. Is this a thing that should continue? Do you think we're being mean? We're big meanies for doing this? Or do you think, you know what? 99 times out of 100, the people deserve exactly what they get.